gente. Welcome to another episode of the Wine and Chisme podcast. This is a solo episode, and I say it every single time I record a solo episode. I am not a fan of solo episodes because I hate the focus solely being on me. I would rather highlight these amazing stories of all of these amazing people. However, sometimes a solo episode is justified, and honestly, this is probably one of those times. Before I get started, because wine is needed, I'm actually having a 2015 Cabernet Sauvignon from Encanto Vineyards. This is the last glass I have of this one. Um, and it is very, very good. It's out of Napa, California. Enrique Lopez is the owner, and they're definitely one of the friends of the podcast in regards to um, working with us and providing wine. So salud. Ugh, I'm so sad that that's my last. I'm gonna have to get some more of that. Um, the reason I decided to do a solo episode this time, and forgive me because I'm getting over being sick, so if I sound weird, that is why. Or, but I was recently and unexpectedly hospitalized, and this was in December of 2023. And I just kind of want to share what that experience is and what I've been going through and what I'm working towards in regards to going through all of these things. Like I said, I hate doing solo episodes, so but this one is I guess justified, right? Um if you have listened to any previous episodes, I have talked about the state of my womb, right? Meaning I have had you know, really horrible cycles, very painful periods, very painful cramps since I basically started getting my cycle. To the point where I would be in high school and my mom would let me stay home at least one day every month when I was on my cycle, or I would start to go to school and I'd have to come home because it was that bad. My sisters, they would get it bad. They didn't get it as bad as me. And they started on birth control, pretty young to help control it. But with me, it was just like nothing ever controlled it. It felt like no matter what I did, no matter what I took, I was always having an issue. I was always getting sick. I was always in pain. And I think that had built up my pain tolerance so much, right? That you just don't think about it. And when I moved back to California, and I was working a lot of contract jobs, so I didn't have any insurance. Um, and when I finally started working at the city, I got insurance, but then I never used it. Like, I don't even know why. Like, seriously, this is like the dumb thing. And then I got let go from my job in May of 2023. So I went on Medi-Cal, and I'm on unemployment on Medi-Cal. And let me tell you, I am so glad I did. I don't even know why I went ahead and got on it because I hadn't been going to the doctor. I hadn't been using insurance. But let me tell you, like, use every resource you possibly can. Because fast forward to December of 2023, literally, I think it's December 4th or something like that. I don't know. It was first week of December. I volunteered at an event. Um, I'm out, I'm having a good time. It's, dressing up and doing all the things, whatever needs to be done, I'm there to help. It's all good. Then the next day, I wake up and I'm in pain. We'd just gotten a new puppy. And she's so loving. Daisy's so sweet. And I couldn't have her get on top of me. Like, it was sore. I was like, no, get off me. That's not like, it was just, I thought because I was at the tail end of my cycle and sometimes I end up getting cramps at the tail end. I thought, oh, am I just getting cramps all over again? So Sunday, Monday, I'm still not feeling good. Pain is still there, feeling very tender. My mom is like, Mia, you need to go to the doctor. I'm like, yeah. If it's still hurting tomorrow, I will go to the doctor. Tuesday rolls around and I am in horrendous pain. Like some of the worst pain I have ever felt. Like I could barely walk. And fortunately, I live like catty quarter to an urgent care. Unfortunately, they don't take Medi-Cal. But they said, we can triage you and tell you where you should go. So when they asked what my symptoms were, I had a slight fever. I was telling them about the tenderness, and it was like a U shaped. Like it was coming from the front end to the back end. Only the right side of my body didn't hurt, but everything else did. And they were like, you need to go to the emergency room. I'm like, what? Okay. So I'm shuffling back. I can't even walk. I'm literally shuffling back because I walked there. Like I said, it's a block away. And I call my fiance Antonio and I'm like, you have to take me to the emergency room. And he's like, okay, I'll be ready. Like, I'm getting up right now. I get back home. Like I said, it takes way longer than it would normally take because I'm shuffling. I'm like a little viejita, like barely moving. He's already in the car, ready for me. We go to the emergency room, and then we start thinking, well, maybe my appendix burst, but it's not the correct side. Well, maybe I have kidney stones, maybe this, maybe like it's all of these different possible things. Um, they go in and they're asking me like, what's my pain level? And again, because I have such high pain tolerance, I'm saying, oh, it's like a 7 or 8. So they give me morphine, literally 45 minutes. I'm still not feeling it. I'm in the emergency room and it's 45 minutes have gone by. And I look at Antonio and I'm like, when is this morphine supposed to kick in? He was like, are you kidding me? It should have already kicked in. What do you mean? You're telling him it's 7 or 8? And I was like, I didn't think it was a 10, but I guess it was. They're taking blood. They're taking like doing, giving me a CT scan, everything. And then they're like, you're going to spend the night. So here I am thinking, okay, I'm going to spend one night in the hospital. And then they're like, you have, like, at first they were thinking it was like kidneys or something like that. And then when they took me for my CT scan and everything, and I had to see oh crap, I forget it's a sort of radiologist, but they're specialized radiologists. And after they saw my CT scans, they saw that my fallopian tubes were abscessed. They were extremely infected, extremely inflamed, and they were like, "You're gonna have to get drains." And apparently, I was so inflamed that normally, I guess they would do surgery, but I was so inflamed that they said surgery would put me at a greater risk for complications. Yay! So they took me to that inter I forget now. I'm so mad that I forgot the name, but the specialized radiologist, where literally he is putting wires in me or this drains in me. And he had to put two, and I'm not even kidding. They were like softball size. They were huge. I had two softball size drains draining. And just so you know, like this is gonna get graphic. So if you can't handle this, like you can turn away, or you can you know not listen anymore. But they had to drain like all of the excess blood and pus and whatever was just like growing in there, and they couldn't figure out why. That's, I think, sometimes the scary part, right? They don't know why that happened. So I'm thinking I'm gonna have to be there at night. Then they're like, no, you're not gonna be here. You're gonna be here a few days. Then it was, no, you're gonna be here through the weekend. This was on Tuesday, mind you. I get admitted on Tuesday, and I think, oh well, I first of all, I don't even think that I'm gonna get admitted. I thought it was just something they could check really quick, and then I could be out. And then it went from overnight to no, you're going to be here at least through the end of the week, or oh no, you're going to be here through the weekend. I was ending up being there for a week. Checked in December 5th and checked out December 12th. I was there for a week. And let me tell you, then, I'm going through it. And thankfully, I have physician friends as well. And the hospital that I went to, they give you an iPad. So you can actually, like, if you want to order food, you can do that through there. You can watch TV and movies through there. You can see all of your test results and all of that through there. So I have a friend who is in OBGYN and I have a friend who's a sleep disorder doctor. So I'm literally like taking pictures to send to them. So I'm like, because I wanted to make sure the doctors were giving me all the information, right? Like if I can't read what these tests mean. I don't understand what it means. And I can ask doctors questions, but I still wanted to make sure like I really was understanding what all of this meant. And I will tell you, like, when I came out of getting those drains put in that very first day, Antonio told me he was like, I was yellow. And he's like, you had no color. You were yellow. He's like, I was kind of scared. And I don't think, like, look now, if I knew everything that my body was going through, I would have been really freaked out. So I'm really glad I didn't know everything that my body was truly fighting, because I was just like, okay, let's just get this done. I'm just tired. I'm hurting. I don't want to be in pain anymore. Like, I'm done. Let's just get this over with. And it's, every day it's like you get these doctors and you're asking questions and everything. And I'm sending pictures, like I said, to my friends. And then I have, you know, my fiance who is now having to try and visit me, and I'm having him bring me stuff, including this. And if you're listening and not watching, there's this wonderful, beautiful blanket that he got me 2 Christmases ago, with my now past Q, my little munchkin Q, my dog, with his face on it. So I was literally like, "Can you bring me the Q blanket? Can you bring me my pillow?" Like, I just was constantly asking for stuff, and the worst was, I at night I was getting so hot, like I was sweating. They literally I think that first night they had to put ice packs all over my body because I was getting so hot and I was running such a high fever that it was like I was like, oh my gosh, like what's happening? And I was scared. And after that, like I felt really bad because whoever was my roommate, like I would have to just put down the AC so much, because during the day it wasn't as bad, but nighttime hit. and and I'm not even like that at home, but there I was just like, I'm sure it was having to do with all of the things that were going on. But man, you're getting poked and prodded. And I know anybody who's been in the hospital for any significant amount of time, you're just like, ah, but I think when you aren't expecting it, it makes it even worse. Like that, I finally was like, you need to get me a nightgown because I cannot wear this. Like, I can't anymore. And they said, yeah, that wasn't a problem. I just needed, as long as it didn't, uh, it wasn't a distraction or didn't interfere um, with the drains, then it was fine. But man, those drains are freaking heavy too. Like I would have to hold them because you have pins to keep them up, but still, they were just very, very heavy, and they have to come drain them and measure them. And based on that, well, a few, as the days go along, and then I find out, I think I was reading my chart and I saw sepsis, and I was like, wait, what? I don't, I don't think the doctors had initially told me I had sepsis. And then towards the end, and then I was talking to my friends, and they were like, "You were bad. Like, you were sending us your chart, you were sending us the stuff. We didn't want to tell you how bad of a condition you were actually in because we didn't want to scare you." And that's when I realized, like, holy crap. And at the, like, every day I was just like, please let me get out of here. Please let me get out of here. And I think my body knew what to fight even when I didn't. Um, because, like I said, I didn't have the mindset of, oh, this is like, I'm not going to get through this. I was always like, yeah, let's just do this. Like, I always had the mindset of, I'm tired of being in here. I need to get out. I want to get out. I'm a stubborn bitch. Let's be real. Let's be honest. I am so stubborn. Like, I was going crazy being stuck in the hospital, especially like probably by when I started feeling better, probably by day 5 or 6, I was like going crazy. Um, and I will say, I am so, so fortunate that I had so many people visit me. Obviously, I have such an amazing, supportive fiance in Antonio, and he was coming. And poor dude, he had actually um, like strained his back. So I think he had pinched a nerve in his back. So he's coming, he's in pain, he's bringing me stuff, he's running around getting me stuff because I needed like literally, I had him bring me a fan so I could have directly on me. That's how freaking hot I would get at night. And and then I had friends. I had my Hope sisters come and visit and want to. They brought me flowers. They brought me positive vibes. They brought me all of the amazing things just to be supportive. And I had, other friends who were there as well, who were just super supportive, bringing me all of the things that I needed, really bringing not just good vibes and good energy. And I think that's just something that was really, really needed, right? Having good vibes and good energy. You need that. You need to have that support system. You need to have that. My mom and my cousin came. Um, you don't realize, like, you don't realize how much of a support system you need and what you have until you're in that type of position. And I am so grateful for that because, I have a friend, I even have a friend Jessie and her husband who I, we haven't really kept in really close contact or anything, but I needed something. She's like, what do you need? How can I bring something to you? What do you need? What do you need? I can bring it to you, whatever. And to have that, like, I feel so blessed and honored. And even just to do anything, it was like a stretch. I remember the first few days, especially, it was so hard to breathe when I was laying down, and it was like trying to find the right positions to do anything. And you know, the, then finally, they tell me, well, if you want to come back, you can go home with the drains. But obviously, having two dogs who I know will jump on me immediately because they're going to be so excited to see me, I knew I couldn't do that. They would have probably ripped those drains out. So I had to stay in the hospital. And basically, the doctors had told me that based on what that drainage level will be determined if I get to go home or not. And so every day, oh my gosh, I remember having a full on breakdown. I don't know if it was Friday or if it was over the weekend, but I wanted to go home so bad. And maybe it was like that Saturday, maybe it was over the weekend, and I wanted to go home so bad. And they're like, "You're not ready. You can't go home. There's still too much draining." maybe it was that Monday. I don't even remember, but I just broke down because I all I wanted to do was get out of there. I'm telling you, I am so stubborn. Like when I want to do something, I will normally figure out a way to do it. And this was completely out of my control. And anybody, especially if you're the oldest girl in a Latina household, like like we have to have some sort of control. And the fact that I didn't have any control, oh my gosh, I think it drove me insane. And totally had a breakdown and crying and just wanted to go home. And, the day I finally went home, they I went down to the that specialized radiology department, and they had to look inside, to make sure I'm okay. And this is when I realized how serious it was, because I don't think I realized how serious it was until this moment. And the doctor told me, "Oh my gosh, the day you came in, I wasn't sure you were going to make it. I thought I was almost positive we were going to have to get you into emergency surgery." And I was like, what? I didn't even realize how bad it was. And the fact that he said it, and then when he told me that they could take the drains out, which meant I can go home, I literally was like, yes. And so many of the people that were there when I had the drains put in, they were clapping. They were clapping. They were so excited for me because that's how bad it was. Like, I really, truly had no idea how bad this was. And it was the biggest relief. But, coming home, and then when you find out, like like I was saying at the beginning, like having these bad cycles, like they had nothing to do with it. Me getting this infection had nothing. It's like a completely separate thing of me having fibroids, which I have, with having these horrendous painful periods. They just said normally it's something your system cleans out, this bacteria, but for me, in this case, it didn't flush out. It went up inside of my body. And the fact that I didn't notice any pain, they said it like it was in my system for a while. Like, this takes time, right? But because so the it's like a good and bad thing having high pain tolerance, right? Good thing because I can take a lot. Fine, whatever. Yeah, okay, I didn't realize. But then at the same time, oh, I didn't realize. I didn't realize that what my body was trying to fight off, because to me, it just felt like cramps. To me, it was not until it got to the point where I could barely walk was when I addressed it. And let me tell you, like I said, I'm on Medi-Cal. Um, and because this was an emergency, like Medi-Cal takes care of all of it because it was emergency. And let me tell you how grateful I am, because if it wasn't for that, I don't know what kind of bill we would be facing. Um, and I'm sharing this because I shared a little bit on social media, and I've had a lot of people ask how I've been. And I wanted to share the experience, not only to share like what I went through, but also because I want people to know, like, listen to your body, take care of your body. We say this all the time, but literally just a couple days before, you would have never thought that I would have, like, literally 3 days later, I was at this event Saturday. By Tuesday, I'm being admitted to the emergency room and almost died. You would have never thought that. And if I would have continued to not listen to my body, if it would have been another 24, 48 hours, who knows what would have happened. And and then having a support system was so huge. So now, like at that moment, I knew when I was in the hospital, I was like, look, I want a hysterectomy. I'm so done with this. I'm so done with all of these things. I'm so done because I've had so many health issues around my reproductive area. Like since I started my cycle, since I started my periods. And I don't want to live like that. Like it changed. Like I have to, I bleed 3 out of 4 weeks a month. I am constantly in pain. I constantly have to figure out, am I okay to wear this? Like, what week am I in? Am I okay to wear this, or am I going to bleed through it? Am I okay to do this? Or am I okay? Like, it literally affects every aspect of my life. And so that's where I'm at now. I've been going to see the doctors at the San Diego Family Health Centers. And let me tell you, for the first time, and I've had women OBGYNs, with the exception of my friend, she's never been my OBGYN. But like she understood what I was going through. I would tell her. But I've had women OBGYNs, I've had men OBGYNs. For the first time at 46 years old, I finally felt heard about the pain that I'm in, about the heavy periods, about the excessive heavy bleeding, right? It shouldn't take this long. It shouldn't have taken, you know, all of these years to finally be heard. And I'm going through the process now. I've had tests taken and whatever, but even now, like I had to get an endometrial biopsy. And even with that, they couldn't even get enough. My cervix wouldn't open up enough. They couldn't even get enough. Like I have so many challenges that I was, that I've been referred out to more specialized OBG or GYN consults and doctors for surgery because even the doctors are like, yeah, we understand why you want a hysterectomy. We can support that. And I had to make a big, like, I didn't have to make a big fuss, I think, after this doctors, but even growing up, like, my mom had a hysterectomy, and I know they don't do these, like, so blase anymore, but we've had family history of these things, and these are things that I would always bring up to my doctors, and I never felt heard. I never felt like, well, let's check this, or let's check this, or let's check this. No. Um, it wasn't even until I was 40 years old that I was officially diagnosed with fibroids. I knew I had them, but no doctor would do anything about it. No doctor would check. And I'm just sharing all of this with you because you have to fight for yourself. My mom has battled breast cancer twice. And the second time, she literally had to say, no, something is wrong. You need to check. You need to check. You need to check. And when they checked, she had breast cancer again. And for me, it has been like, no, I'm done. I want a hysterectomy. I'm done like letting this rule my life. I'm done bleeding 3 out of 4 weeks. I'm done having to plan my entire life around around my bleeding. And for the doctors to be like, okay, and do your research, do your thing, get second opinions, whatever you need to do. But I'm just saying, like, man, please take care of yourself. Please take care of yourselves and listen to your body and fight for yourself because nobody is going to be a better advocate for you than you. Even now, like they're giving me progesterone to help control the bleeding, has not helped, has not helped. And I was like, you need to up it. 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 Finally, they upped it. Like literally, I was like screaming, begging to up it before they finally upped the progesterone. And I'm still on a few days, and as of now, it hasn't helped, which is frustrating. But at least, like, I fought for myself to have it upped to try and control something in regards to what's happening to my body, because nobody knows what's happening, like what I go through every day more than me. Just like nobody knows what you go through day in, day out more than you. And if this is a lot of information, that's just what it is. This is what I have to live through every single day. And I didn't write any notes. This is literally just coming straight from my heart because, like I said, I've had a lot of people ask how I am. And it was affecting my mental health. I'm in a good spot mentally, right? This one spot, overall, I'm in a good spot mentally. But this one spot, this man, this is just, it hurts. It hurts and it sucks because it just becomes it just becomes frustrating, and it just becomes a definitely an area of us, like a sore area, because who wants to live like that? And mi gente, like I said, it's just another, it's something that I'm working through. It's something that I'm continuing to go through. This is not an easy fix. This is not something that's going to happen overnight. This is something that I'll probably be dealing with for the next 6 to 12 months to try and get to where we need to be so I can have surgery. And when I go through that, I'm sure I'll be out for a while. But this community has been so amazing and so supportive that I knew I could share this with you guys. And I knew that it was important for me to share this because we oftentimes don't talk about it. We don't talk about our cycles. We don't talk about, like, the things that we go through, even sexually, right? That's why and it's probably time to have another sex conversation. We don't talk about all of these things. We don't talk about advocating for ourselves when it comes to health and wellness. So that's what we need to do. And that's why I'm here. And that's why I'm sharing this, because this community is so amazing. And you guys are so amazing that I wanted to share what I'm going through in this experience. So if you guys have questions about anything, please, like, feel free to message me, feel free to DM me, feel free to, send a comment, whatever, or email me at hola@thewinandcheesemepodcast.com. Or if you have something that you want to share, please do. I definitely encourage that, because what we go through isn't easy. And I want to be there for you guys just like you guys are there for me. Until next time, mi gente. Saludos. Hola, mi gente. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Wine and Chisme podcast. If you would like to hear more wine and more chisme, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Saludos.